I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And today we're going to be talking to you about what kind of single are you?
This is an important topic. We got
single and hating it.
We got lots of different types of singles out there.
That's probably most of our viewers. Single and wanting my ex back.
Probably. Before we do get into it, I did want to say that Craig and I are available for coaching sessions. So if you would like a one-on-one on your situation, you can head to the website and book from there.
And we'll be happy to help you out. So everybody's in different places with their breakup and their situation. Many of you want another opportunity with your ex to try and get them back. Totally understandable. Some of you are in a place where you're just trying to heal, move on, look for other people. Some of you want to stay single. Some of you don't want to be single. If we were to ask all of you guys, what kind of single are you or why are you single, we would get a lot of different answers.
Oh yeah. And there's people who think that they're single for different reasons. It could be their own feelings of I'm not capable of maintaining a relationship. Mm-hmm. It could be I live in a small town and don't have many options. Mm-hmm. So there's many reasons as to why you could be single and different kinds of single people.
All right, so we're going to talk about this today. This is going to be helpful. It's going to give you something to really think about for your situation.
Right, and this is based off of some research by L.C. Wash. Mm-hmm. He did a interesting article using fancy analytics in his study to categorize single people, because prior in research they would just kind of lump everybody together, single people. But now they're realizing, okay, different single people have different degrees of life satisfaction, different ways that they go about their singleness. And so I think this is an important topic for you to self-reflect. Well, what am I doing in my time of singleness? Do I enjoy being single? Some people thrive in singleness and others do not. So we're going to talk about that.
Yeah. It's good to have a better understanding of where you're at in this and why you may be doing the things that you're doing or wanting the things that you want.
Exactly. So the very first category, we'll call it the better off single. And this accounts for about 20% of the single population. Mm-hmm. So these are people with high self-esteem, low stress levels. They have a lot of friendships around them. They have a really great support system. And they have great family relationships. And they also report the highest life satisfaction. So these are people who do know how to surround themselves with good energy, with people who fulfill their needs in different ways. Those platonic friendships can be really great in fulfilling that social need, and even that need for affection, that need for validation and attention, which are all natural, normal, and healthy. And so this group has figured out a way to be happy and single and balanced.
And they don't want to deal with your BS, okay? Because you didn't do the work, so they don't want to deal with you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And these people, if we're thinking about attachment styles, I'd like to relate them most with the secure attachment style.
And I'm not kidding with they don't want to deal with your BS. This is what I'm saying, is if you don't do the work, when you do meet these 20%, guess what? They're going to see you haven't done the work and they're not going to want to date you.
Right.
And they'll tell you in a very polite, nice way, too. I just don't think it's going to work out because blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. And you're going to be like, oh, the one that got away.
Right.
That's why you got to do the work.
Mm-hmm. And they're also going to be observant of how you are living your singleness. They're going to say, well, can this person manage to be alone? You know, can this person take care of themselves? Does this person have friendships in their life? Mm-hmm. Or are they more of a loner type? What's going on here? So keep that in mind.
They think through things thoroughly before they make a decision. They're not reacting to somebody finally giving them a little bit of attention or, acting out of desperation or anxiety. They're in a good place, so they want to make sure that whoever comes along is a good fit. Mm-hmm. And ideally, that's where you guys get after your breakup, is you're in this more secure place where you're single because you want to be, and that you're okay with it. You're happy.
Exactly.
Now we almost have the opposite for the second one,
Yeah,
right?
almost.
Right? So the other one, we're talking about a strong support system. The other one is a lack of a strong support system, right? You don't have many people in your life. And this is about 25% of the people out there that, they have good health, low stress, and feel good about themselves, but they don't have those close friendships. They don't have these other people that they can really count on in their life. And generally, they're not as happy because a big part of the human experience is our connections. And the stronger our connections are, generally the better we feel and the happier we are.
Right. And I could see why this is such a large category, because especially as adults, it's hard to make friends. Especially if you've relocated to a new place, if many of your friends are in families and they're having children and they're busy, it's hard to find other adult people to connect with and at different stages of life.
Yeah, it's really true. And it's funny because as kids, my daughter is 6 right now, she makes friends with everybody everywhere we go. Literally. There's a kid, you're my new friend. Literally, she starts talking to everybody and anybody, and we'll see kids. We just saw some kids the other day. I don't remember where we were, and she just starts talking to them like they're her new best friend. But when you're an adult, you're like, I don't trust this person.
Exactly. Yeah, or you feel awkward talking to someone at the bus stop or whatever it may be. Yeah. Yeah, so it can be a challenging category to be in, and it may or may not be your fault. It may be because of a lack of social skills, that you don't have that strong support system. It may be for a lot of different reasons, but this is a distinct category that I think is worth noting.
Yeah.
Another big one is the one that we'll call the internal battle. So the people in this category, it's about 27% of singles. They have good family, good friendships surrounding them.
Okay.
They have low self-worth and low self-perception. And this is an interesting category. Now, they also struggle to manage stress, and their health is affected as a result. So these are the people who are internally dealing with something. Their view of themselves is not one that's strong and confident, and it's affecting other areas of their life, but they do have people around them. And what I think of when I think of this category is being lonely but not being alone. So these are people who might be very social. They might be going out to dinners with friends, they might be invited to a lot of places, but because of their own internal issues, they struggle to really find happiness within themselves.
Interesting. That's an interesting category, right? And one of the things that I can't help but think about is how they measured how the family was considered a good family. Yeah. Because generally, if you wind up with low self-esteem and low self-worth, it's because you didn't get a lot of love and affection. So maybe they perceive it as good, but it really wasn't that good.
Right. Or maybe it's a good relationship in adulthood, but it wasn't in childhood, or there were things that were lacking in childhood.
Yeah, so it's tough to know how the researchers decided they had a good family. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking beyond what the answers are.
And it's interesting because they could have good relationships with friends and family, but that low self-worth and low self-perception will show up in a relationship.
Sure.
So that can be a tricky category because you could be fooled into thinking, man, this person is really social. They check off a lot of boxes, but their view of themselves will seep out, with someone who becomes a key attachment figure. So remember that.
All right, the next one. This one sounds like a movie title. The Distancer. The Distancer. Doesn't it sound like a beginning of a horror movie?
It does. It does.
Are you a distancer?
Ooh.
Uh-oh. It sounds scary. So who's the distancer? Well, they don't have close relationships. Not many of them. Now, they may have some good self-worth and self-esteem there, but they don't like to let people in.
And this is tricky because if you don't allow others in, then you're never challenged. So in a way, it makes sense that these people would have a high self-perception because they're never around people that they would compare themselves to, or where they can, kind of have a barometer of, okay, well, what are other people in my life doing? And sometimes a bit of that is healthy. I know maybe that might be controversial, but we are social creatures. We do get inspired by our friends and family around us to challenge us, to take us to new heights. So they might have a good self-perception, but they're very closed off. And sometimes this can lead to a no new friends kind of attitude of I'm okay being isolated. I'm safe when I'm isolated. I'm never challenged when I'm isolated. And that allows me to keep my routine and keep everything in order.
Yeah. When you keep that outside information from coming in, you don't have to internalize other people's thoughts and feelings about you. You can kind of push it out.
Right, right. All right, this next category I just labeled as the struggle bus because they are struggling. So
everybody's like, that's me.
it might be. So this will be, a person who doesn't have that strong support system, neither with friends, neither with family, high levels of stress, low self-esteem. It's affecting their health. It's affecting their worldview. So this is the type of single person who doesn't quite have a grip of their life just yet.
Sounds like George Costanza from Seinfeld.
Just everything falls apart when you're single,
Everything is bad for him. He's high stress, high anxiety.
Yeah.
He's falling apart.
Oh no. And I could see this person falling into codependency with the partner. They finally have someone who does give them that attention, that does make them feel good, and so they depend on that person to fix all of their life issues. A lot of times people like this, they don't really get a good start in life. I think they call it failure to launch.
Failure to thrive, or failure to launch, failure to thrive is something
failure
else.
Failure to thrive too. They struggle to be really independent and be able to take care of themselves, which really isn't an essential life skill. Yeah, so that's another category that's important. And the last one is somewhere in between. This is a person who's moderately social. So they might not have the best family relationships, but they do engage with friendships.
Okay.
They might have low self-esteem, high stress, and I like to think of this category as just barely making it. So you're able to care for yourself enough as a single person. You're able to kind of put yourself out there, but you're like scraping the surface.
They didn't even make it to the bus stop. They're still laying in bed with hitting the snooze button on the alarm.
They didn't make it to the struggle bus. They almost did.
They thought about it,
right,
but it was too much effort.
And for me, what this whole study really highlights is those key areas of what's important in life in general, and especially during your singleness. So if you noticed, in each category, we talked about stress levels, we talked about friends and family relationships, we talked about health. So all of these categories are really, really important, and maybe even most importantly, self-esteem, which I think all of these things are very connected. So if you are watching this and you are single, assess those areas for yourself in your own life.
Yeah.
How am I doing with my relationships? How is my health? How do I manage stress? What do I think of myself? How has this breakup impacted my self-esteem?
Yeah.
So that can give you just like a quick overview, a quick check-in of yourself of, am I thriving in my singleness? Am I just barely making it? Am I on the struggle bus completely? Am I now distancing myself from others to keep myself safe? So I hope that if anything, this video is a reflective tool, a self-reflective tool for you to learn more about yourself while you are single.
Sure. You have to consider all these things and how they're impacting you and how you're handling your breakup and moving forward or deciding what to do. And of course, these are all areas you can work on. Even if you're struggling with some of these areas, it doesn't mean you can't work through it or work past it or improve in these areas. Some of you are thriving in some areas and struggling in others, and vice versa. And so you have to think about yourself and where you fit into the equation and where you want to go and what you're looking to do to help yourself become more resilient and handle the struggles that come with being single. And there's going to be struggles if you're dating. So you're going to have struggles either way. You might as well master the struggles, right?
Exactly. And I tend to think that if you are able to master that singleness, if you are able to be independent, care for yourself, then you can truly, I know it's so cheesy, but you can truly be an addition to someone's life, and someone can be an addition to yours. If you are on the struggle bus single, a relationship is not going to fix that.
No.
So make sure you're working towards getting your life in order, getting a good grip on things so you can take care of yourself. And if someone comes along, you can build together. I think that's the dream. All
right. Some good research there, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Of course, when you want to get our help personally, you can do that on my website, askcraig.net. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Victoria is also available for Skype coaching.
I'm available whenever you'd like to chat.
Just click on her name at the top of the website to schedule with her. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And we will talk with you soon.